Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Renegade Operative here, and I'm bringing you quite an unexpected video coming up today. This video is about the new extended footage that was released for Uncharted 4: A Thief's End coming for the PlayStation 4. This extended footage was shown at E3 to some select members, but it wasn't shown all the way from what we seen in regards to the trailer they showed the public. The trailer actually ended with Drake crashing into something wooden at the end of a bridge, and it just cut off abruptly from there. But little did we know, according to sources like Young Yeah, that they were showing additional parts of this trailer that actually had some more pretty interesting elements as it turned out. So I'm going to let you hear the first part of my analysis to the initial Uncharted 4: A Thief's End E3 2015 trailer, and then I'm going to add the rest of my thoughts on top of that, and also analyze what we heard from the Q&A as fact, and give my overall opinion to what went on in that Q&A and what things happened with the game, whether they were detrimental or a good thing or a bad thing. So let's commence with the first part of the analysis for the Uncharted 4 E3 2015 gameplay presentation. Enjoy. And I almost forgot the last thing displayed in the show ender was Uncharted, or rather Nathan Drake standing around for almost an hour doing absolutely nothing. Hilarity aside, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End was the last thing presented by Naughty Dog, of course. This demo was definitely a lot more entertaining than last year. Last year just had that reveal trailer, while this year they had a lot more gameplay to present, a lot more meat on the bones that way. It was Drake in this small little city looking for God knows what, because the only exposition we have is Drake is looking for his sibling, and not much else is revealed about their plans, so they're obviously keeping the story details tucked away. And eventually things go crazy. It's like these army of guys are looking for him, and a giant shootout just erupts in the city, and you can see things like the particle effects going apeshit with stuff flying around, explosions everywhere, carnage, mass chaos, you name it. It was rather glorious to see. And then all of a sudden, Drake and Sully hop in the back of this Jeep, and you get introduced to something new. Uncarded confirmed. But seriously, you get in the back of this Jeep, and there's a car chasing segment where you're trying to outrun a tank. And it looks very gorgeous. Like I said, the particles and physics and destruction in this new Uncharted, along with the very, very, very detailed graphics. It's all great stuff, all great fun. The stuff you come to expect from the Uncharted games, just pure unadulterated action and adventure. And this chase goes on for a while, and then it culminates to Drake letting Sully take the wheel and using his new grapple hook technique to latch on to the side of a truck that's on a bridge in order to catch up with his brother Sam, because the cartel is chasing him. So he latches onto this truck, and he's just flying around all over the place. He's a fucking monkey man. And then he just crashes into something on the side of the bridge, and the trailer cuts off for Uncharted.
But wait! There's more!
So, as the footage continues, you just see Drake throttle all over the place. He's all in the water. There's boats coming in his vicinity, about to just plow through him. He's really just eating the bottom of the ringer right now. And you can see at this point, as he's being dragged through the mud among the amazing particle effects, how it just sticks to his clothes, and how it's really just a highlight of how good and phenomenal these graphics look. The mud just sticking, sliding all over the place. It's really an awe-inspiring sight when you really look at it. You can kind of say that the older Uncharted games had graphical themes to them. Uncharted 2, I believe, had the snow levels. Uncharted 3 had the sand levels. This has complete mud all over the place, so you can enjoy your muddy Drake. But as you see on this section, he gets on the back of this convoy and then he just starts lighting everyone up. It's very reminiscent of Uncharted 3, where you had to jump from convoy to convoy. And they also had this in Uncharted 2, but there's a lot more stuff going on this time, as you can tell, with actual guys jumping from their motorcycles to pursue Drake in this big event to kill him and his brother Sam. At this point, as a player, the player just keeps blazing down more routine gunmen, and eventually he jumps in the back of this Jeep and hijacks it. But of course, the guy at the driver's seat having a little face play, and then he knocks him out of the car for good. What you can see in this footage is you can see guys trying to jump on the car, trying to get Nathan, but you can run into obstacles to knock them off. There's guys that you can actually run over in the motorcycles, which is absolute fucking carnage. Look at it. It's just glorious carnage that I really love as an Uncharted fan. Guy's still trying to take his car, he knocks him off. Fucking amazing. Look at it. Just look and be in awe at how extremely precise this looks. And then Drake eventually catches up to his brother Sam, and from what I noticed from the pieces of dialogue against them is that Drake and Sam are like peas in a pod pretty much. They are both bullheaded, defiant. They aren't willing to listen to one another. They think that one plan is better than the other. And then eventually the scene culminates with Drake's truck getting taken out of commission by the tank. And then there's this oh shit moment. Am I gonna fucking die? Look, the car's on fire. It's like an Ethan Mars Heavy Rain moment where you gotta scramble out of there as fast as you can. There's the proverbial QTE. And the enemies outside are surrounding the truck. So it's like a pretty much oh crap moment. Eventually Drake crawls to the door. Car still lighting on fire, so I assume if you don't get out in time or move the buttons, it's probably like a death. So here we go. Drake's about to get in action. He's a man with a plan. There's the QTE. Boom. Clips the two guys right outside the truck. No problem. So it's at this point that I think Sam comes to help his brother out, because the tank is like right on their ass. Yep, here we go. Give me a hand, Troy Baker. And we're off to see the sunset. So this is like an MGS4 type of chase on a motorcycle where you get an infinite gun and you try to shoot the tank as much as possible, but there's just so much destruction that's just coming in its wake. It's like it won't stop. It reminds me of the whole entire segment with the T-1000 chasing John Connor, and Arnie is just like riding shotgun. So you can see the tank just smashing completely into everything. It's finally about to explode, and then you get the final cinematic moment, which is like James Bond, Everything or Nothing slide as the tank is destroyed. And Sam and Drake have a moment of bonding together with their destructive ways. And then eventually they drive back to Sully and a cutscene initiates. So there's a lot of interesting things going on in terms of what they are showing indeed. And that's the fact that Drake is back in the treasure hunting game. He's back for some unknown circumstance, and I'm going to pin all of that on Sam, because they said in the Q&A, they definitely said that Sam hasn't gotten out of the treasure hunting game ever since Drake left the orphanage. You know, as we know from Uncharted 3, Drake's moved on. He's gotten married to Elena, and he really values his relationship with Sully, as we see in Uncharted 3. He really views him as a father figure. He really views him as someone expertly important in his life. So it's kind of funny to see Sully bumbling back into this, even after he gave Drake the advice to just get out of the game while he can, you know what I mean? So here they are, searching for something in the lost island of Libertalia. So they speak a lot of history on the pirates. This game is going to be centered around a pirate colony. It's going to have a lot of themes pertaining to that. And then all of a sudden, Drake walks in. He's like cool Mo D. He's like the coolest of the coolest. He's Mr. Suave. He's like, we're gonna get this business going. We're gonna get this shit started. And oh shit, I'm fucked. Here comes Elena Fisher busting out Drake for lying to her yet again. Perfect cutscene. And then it just ends right there. Brilliant. Now, we're going to get on to the Q&A session, and I don't have the Q&A session tape right now, but I will tell you the excerpts of what I thought that was really important to talk about and give my overall opinions on those, and that'll be the end of the video. So here we go. This is the Q&A segment that Naughty Dog had yesterday. So, they touched up on the frames per second business, and a lot of it was being debated if they were going to do 60 FPS for the main campaign or 30 FPS, but as recent events has shown us, the developers themselves has said that 60 FPS was fucking hard to implement, and that they did not want to implement 60 FPS if it ruins the experience. So, by whatever that means, they have went with the 30 frames per second route, and their reasoning for it in this Q&A was the fact that they wanted their single player to be the best thing possible. They also said that this is going to be probably their biggest Uncharted game. So far, they haven't ironed out all the kinks, but that's exactly what they said. What I think of this is, of course, I had some gripes with it. As you know, I like my crisp, clean 60 frames per second, but I also looked on the other side and my eyes opened up, because I would rather have 30 FPS than just a horrible experience overall. So what the game is running on, as long as it's running very smoothly, then I'm just gonna accept it for what it is and move on from there. Previous Uncharted games was in 30 frames per second, and Uncharted 2 is still a masterpiece in my opinion. And I figure another note to add would be that the multiplayer is going to be 60 FPS. So overall, to summarize this, single player 30 FPS, multiplayer 60 FPS, confirmed. So moving on, they said that photo mode is returning and it's going to be a little bit fine-tuned. Not sure particularly what that means by more fine-tuned than usual, but I'm sure that the people who love capturing dramatic screenshots are going to love that feature again. They also confirmed, and they tried to keep it secret, under wraps, but we've known this for a long time, ever since they first revealed the Uncharted 4 A Thieves End title, that this is probably going to be Nathan Drake's final adventure. They didn't say anything in regards to it being the final Uncharted in the series, so there's some lingering hopes that the franchise could possibly be continued, maybe not under Naughty Dog's jurisdiction, but you never know how things like this is gonna go. And then they also said something that this was the thing that I was uncomfortable with, and I didn't like it at all, and I'm going to explain why, because I think it's kind of BS. But they said that the only way to get the Uncharted 4 beta is to buy the Nathan Drake HD collection that's coming out later this October for about $60. So it's a full price remaster. The reason that I don't like this decision is because it's going to suck for the people who already have Uncharted 1 through 3 on PS3. And that is kind of bullshitty to me. I paid full price for those games. I have to pay full price again for a remaster in order to get the beta. That's bullcrap. The Uncharted 3 beta was absolutely perfect with the way it was handled. You could get it from several retailers. You can get it from several games that weren't Naughty Dog games in particular. You can get it from fucking Subway. So I don't like how this is being handled. I really sincerely hope that they have a public beta for this, because a lot of people are going to miss out, and a lot of people aren't going to want to get the Nathan Drake collection because of this if they already have it. So that is confirmed. Uncharted 4 beta exclusive to the Nathan Drake collection. Whew. I have not drunk any water. I just literally slogged through all of that. So again, my overall thoughts is that I thought the extended trailer was phenomenal. They are raising the stakes when it comes to these bigger set pieces, and I hope that correlates in junction with all the set pieces in the game, as well as the refined mechanics that I was talking about in my E3 video. I hope that all the core gameplay mechanics are refined from the previous Uncharted games and makes this the quintessential version to own and play. But what are your guys' thoughts? I really enjoyed it. I'd like to hear more from you. This was the coverage on the new extended Uncharted trailer and the Q&A that was released by Naughty Dog yesterday. You guys take care. I'm having a blast. Peace out.